Is one of those examples where we need to make sure that there is proper public oversight of our national security agencies and operations. That's something that the Liberal Party has been calling for a long time, and we continue to believe that strong oversight, like all of our Five Eyes partners have, is going to be important in this era.
And that's Justin Trudeau responding to these revelations that CSEC is watching over Canadians. Big Brother-esque. Ross McLean joining us. I don't think that's a surprise that they watch over our emails and those kinds of things, is it?
No, I don't believe it is a surprise to anybody. It's not so much that they're looking over the emails. What they're doing specifically in this one document that was leaked that apparently came from Eric Snowden, who was the spy operative Edward Snowden,
yeah.
sorry, who took off from the U.S., Hong Kong, and now is sitting in Russia. He's released this PowerPoint that was given by a Canadian security official before, and they talked about things they look for. Well, surprise, surprise, one of the things they look for is they look to the free download sites where you can go and get information off them and download them, and they watch for people who download explosive courses from Marines, how to make bombs. If you download that, they'll want to look at you and take a further look at what the rest of your activity is.
So far, I'm not bothered by this.
So far, I'm rather glad that they're doing that. Because the other thing that they're doing, which is important, is to have context to this. Look, I research a lot of things. I know I've come across their radar, because I do look at those documents to see that are up there when I'm doing stories.
It's part of our job.
Yeah. So what they're doing, though, is they're then looking at the rest of your activity. You go download the bomb-making course from the website. They look at your site and they see that, oh, by the way, you're emailing someone who's in Yemen. You know, and you're also, well, look at your Facebook page, you have pictures and videos of the ISIS people beheading people and things like that. The flags go up and they might take a closer look at you.
Okay. There are privacy concerns that are built into that kind of an approach.
Look, the intelligence community is looking at them. But as I was talking with one of our tech people here before I came on, you know, I was just buying a vacuum cleaner recently, so I looked online for a vacuum cleaner. I looked at Amazon.com and I'm looking at the price. I still have to this day vacuum cleaner ads following me on every site that I go to.
No, that's amazing.
Yeah, because Google looks at you. It says, oh, you're interested. They're tracking what you're looking at. I mean, so it shouldn't be of a surprise if you're doing some rather, you know, dangerous things online that they'll be looking at you. In fact, I'm glad they're looking at them.
Okay, so it's not, it is a questionable use of privacy, but it's in national security. Why are the politicians getting all in a huff about it?
Well, I don't know. They're making more out of this than there is. I will agree with one thing. I do want to see good oversight over this. I don't want someone deciding because they happen to look at my account because I looked at a bomb course. Oh, and the guy works in media. But oh yeah, he's also looking at buying a Ferrari. Maybe Revenue Canada should know about him. And they call I don't want them misusing that intelligence information when they search. I want them to make sure they use it strictly for national security.
That, though?
Well, that's where you have oversight. You have someone who checks them, you train them, you put parameters on them, you spot check on people. Look, I've dealt with...
And we don't do that currently?
No, we do. We do. But
okay.
I just want to make sure, as we have to do more and more of this, that the oversight is there. Look, it's not unusual. You'll read about the stories on TMZ or something about somebody sometime because someone at Amex looks at the black card and sees where they're spending their money. Oh, Billy Ray Cyrus was just in New York with so-and-so. That sort of stuff comes out. That's a misuse of the authority for looking at your information. So, we want to make sure that it's not misused, but I'm glad to see that they're looking at this sort of thing.
Yeah, okay, now, there must be a story about how this information comes out. You mentioned Edward Snowden. Why now?
Well, Ed Snowden, when he left, he was either a hero or a traitor based on how you look at him. He said he was doing this work for constitutional reasons. That's why he was blowing the lid off of this information. That's why he was releasing it. One of the reporters he worked with was Glenn Greenwald of The Guardian to release them. And what it seems he's done now is he's sort of working the rest of the files that he has from Snowden. And he's releasing them as exclusives from place to place to place. And I believe he's getting paid for doing those exclusives. Ooh. So it's almost like he's kind of monetizing this information as it's being released and it's put out. But I looked at this document and I saw nothing that was scary there, nothing that anybody wouldn't assume that something was there. But it sounds really good, right? Oh, they're looking at whatever you're downloading. Google's doing that. Everybody's doing that.
Yeah. But to a degree, I mean, they also have to protect us and corporations, and because there's corporate espionage happening as well that CSIC is responsible for taking care of.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They caught that one Chinese guy who's up on charges now, hasn't been proven, alleged he took some blueprints for how we were going to build our new our frigates for our Navy that we were selling, and he was about to ship those off back to China. So it absolutely is about protecting Canadian economic interests as well. And like I said, we need to have them doing it. This is where wars are fought now. They're fought
Cyber
online
wars.
with information doing stuff. And if I can steal the information about how you do something, away we go. And if I can catch you before you're about to go do something, and we have caught guys. Remember CSIS caught some guys there? They caught them with, was it 50 blasting caps or whatever, detonators they had put together, and they intercepted them and put in duds. And they charged those guys, and they got the full whack from the law.
Yeah, except that CSIS is, my understanding of it is CSIS will investigate domestic. The CSEC doesn't. I think it's to protect us from outside of this country. Isn't that right? Or do
Right. There is
do
the
they target
separate
Canadians?
There is the separation that's
Okay.
on there for doing it. But as we see, what everybody does is the U.S. will say to Britain, "Hey, we can't get this, but you can get it." And Britain will say, "Well, we can't follow this guy, but you can follow him over there." I mean, they talk to each other. That's what they do. We've
That's
got
the
a
whole concept of the Five Eyes.
That's the concept of the Five Eyes. And if we're using this information to protect Canadians, protect our friends in NATO, to protect North America, if we're doing that, I'm all for that. Let's have the right oversight, though, and do it for the right reasons. And I'm pretty confident so far, from what I've seen, we're doing it for the right reasons.
The only point of this story, as far as I can see, is look at the degree to which they're investigating. There's 15 million file downloads daily that they look at. There's been 350 interesting download events each month.
Yeah.
Each month in this country.
Yeah, well, here's the problem for these intelligence people. You know, it's the ratio of the signal to the noise, right? There's a lot of noise. There's all kinds of people downloading information and stuff, and they'll maybe have a couple of flags on them. They need to have the algorithms to look at it and compare all the data to say, no, this is the person you got to be really concerned about, because they're also emailing Yemen, they're also buying fertilizer, they're that's what
Looking
they need.
to transfer funds.
Yeah, they're transferring, all of that. So they're looking at that, and that helps to narrow down, because it's a lot of work to look at all this information. And just like, I did a segment earlier talking about CCTV, you get it captured sometimes.
Yeah.
Just looking at a snapshot of it doesn't make somebody guilty. They need to do that further investigation. And they're doing that further investigation. Even the leaked document showed that. They're
Yeah.
looking for flags, and they're
Well,
adding
and the
them up.
difference with CCTV is that it doesn't stop the person from committing a crime, but once a crime has been committed, they can look back and see that it was there.
Yeah, I think Canadians need to continue to educate themselves about this for their own security, for their own economic security, so someone isn't stealing your banking information or doing something that.
Yeah.
We just had the police put out a warning about guys who were making teenagers compromise themselves on dating sites by doing acts in front of their computer, then extorting them. So, we all need to learn and demand more of our internet providers to put the security in place for us for doing that, and the government to look after us too.
Yeah. Yeah. And never mind, look after your kids as well. Ross, great to have you here.